how loaded was Tony when he put together what they're trying to steal some attention away with?
Well, again, they announced their card first. AEW All Out, an annual
Well, no,
tradition.
they announced the show. They announced the show first.
Right.
They've announced
the date.
A number of matches. They announced the date exactly, but you know, they've had a lot of time to get here. So what are they putting on their big show here that would be in opposition or combat or try to steal thunder from that loaded lineup over there?
All right, and I actually have a few different things open here because there are matches that are official, and then there are matches that are rumored to be or alluded to be. It seems like they will be happening.
Are you talking about the AEW mouth organ Uncle Dave?
Well, in the Observer, he has matches that obviously wouldn't be on a Wikipedia, let alone an AEW website.
No, they wouldn't lower themselves to being on things like that.
But this is a big lineup here. Let me start with what's official. In a tag team match, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus FTR with Stokely.
Okay, and they are in Toronto, by the way. We should mention that. And Edge and Christian reuniting after all these years in Toronto for the Live House. That would probably be the thing that's going to bring the house down. And I would assume that, are they going to sell out and wherever they're at in Toronto up there for this? Certainly to God.
I would have to check the ticket sales, but I would think that they would do. It's the hottest wrestling market traditionally, Toronto.
One would think. We'll find out if they do. But nevertheless, the point is, and again, every time I say, and they can have a good match with FTR, people again freak out and go, oh, he'll never give up on FTR. He glazes them, like the kids say. I do like a good donut every now and then, but it's not, no, they can functionally have a better match with most people in the ring than anybody in AEW, but I've also made it clear that they're completely meaningless at this point and that they've done nothing to help their image that they once had, which was better than it is today with the creative and etc. And the build to this, that they've already given away Edge and Christian's reunion, and that's just our first time back at home and against the nitwits they had to work with. It's just so the promotion has been fumbled, but I will say that's going to be their in the building, their biggest thing.
I said it the other day, it'll probably be the best match on the card. How long do you think they'll give them? Knowing how AEW
well, as long as they want.
What do you think, 30 minutes or more? Yes or no?
Well, no, because I don't think Edge and Christian are going to want 30 minutes because I think they're not going to want to fucking take a chance on stinking their hometown reunion out. I think they will realize that they've got wonderful opponents in Dax and Cash, and if they do 16, 18 minutes with a whiz-bang finish, it'll just be just lovely. I don't think they want to go 30 minutes. Or they shouldn't.
Jim in a big trios match. The Hurt Syndicate of Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP versus Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, comprised of Bishop Khan and Toa Leona.
I've now discovered why they named them the Gates of Agony, because that's what you feel like you're passing through every time you watch their fucking matches. Jesus Christ on a cracker. What they have, I don't know what they've done here, but let's examine what they've done here. The Hurt Syndicate were over as heels in a popular fashion because they came out, they looked professional, they threw people around, and they dominated physically, and they looked good doing it, and they just come off as a big deal. And so people get into it. But then they completely have no babyface team whatsoever ready to face these guys and give them any kind of goddamn legitimate, believable challenge. Instead of just, they focus elsewise on a bunch of children. So when it comes time to have somebody to fight these fucking guys, nobody can stand up to them. So then, instead of doing again, you do something with FTR just because at least they could pick Shelton and Bobby up believably. They go through this round robin fucking business to get the belts off of them and now have turned them babyface, apparently, against whiny Ricochet and these two fat fucking guys that they've goddamn found off the fucking indies somewhere.
They're not fat. The Bishop Khan's in pretty great shape, it seems like. And the other guy's just a big guy.
Then the one fat guy and the other fucking jacked up guy, I don't care. They're black holes of charisma. Not only do they have no charisma, but they suck in the charisma of those around them. As we'll talk about on television, the fight where they're trying to fight even with, it was an even fight. And then it exposes that Shelton Benjamin's the only one who can really fucking move around out of the four of them. But the point is, now they're being put in, I guess, a babyface position against whiny Ricochet and his two stooges that were jerking the curtains until 3 weeks ago. And Ricochet ain't set the world on fire unless he's a goddamn arsonist in his double life. So, and MVP's already in the ring. The minute that while they were heels, nobody got the goddamn manager in the ring for any babyface to try to get even with him. And now they're baby faces and he's already in the ring after they're baby faces for 2 weeks. The fuck? Help me.
Please don't beat up your microphone there. I think MVP did wrestle a few times in AEW. I remember seeing him in a match. I don't remember what the setup was or who it was against, and that's
I don't think there was a setup. I think they just had him wrestle somebody, and I commented on it then. There was no setup, but it wasn't like anybody was even trying to get even with him.
Any prediction on this big match?
Yeah, it ain't gonna be real good. Hopefully somebody in the Hurt Syndicate will beat somebody else, but it won't happen that way. I bet Ricochet will do something because he's the tiniest person in the thing.
Well, Jim, in a match for the TBS Championship, a match I'm looking forward to seeing maybe more than anything else on this show, Mercedes Mone, the champion, versus Riho.
Oh, again, this is the perfect example of, as I said the other day, this snake bit promotion. Even when they try to do things and they're just, it's bad luck. They've been cursed by an old gypsy, Maria Ospinskaya. They get Riho and the WWE gets AJ Lee. So, no, I mean, we have no reason to believe that anything but a carefully orchestrated SEAL team mission can beat Mercedes Mone. So I don't think Riho is gonna.
Rio's indestructible. You kidding me? Except when she gets hurt and goes home for a couple of years.
You know what? Then this is going to be the irresistible force, the immovable object, matter and antimatter, and something may blow up. And between the two of them, they're almost 200 pounds. So reinforce the ring.
Riho has just returned, of course, former champion, I believe the first women's champion, and a storied career in AEW. Do you see her losing in her first big match back? And if she wins,
yes,
is she the person to take any of those belts off Mercedes Mone?
Riho, she's not a serious professional wrestler. It is a weird fondness for fringe gimmickry by Kenny Olivier that caused Riho to be inflicted upon an American television audience. And I don't care how batshit fucking crazy that Tony Khan or any of the rest of these people are about anything else. There's no way that they could possibly After all they've done with Mercedes Mone, who has been a giant flop for the money she's been paid and turned in embarrassing acting fucking rehearsal performances and a ridiculous amount of self-love in her various activities. But there's no way they would in any way put Riho over her with the investment they've made so far in her beating everybody else. And at some point, somebody would say, but you realize that Riho is not, nobody's going to take this seriously anymore. Not even our fucking people. One would imagine.
We will see what happens. Jim, in a coffin match.
Oh, Christ.
Jon Moxley versus the AEW ratings. No, Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin.
Well, why wouldn't they? The Undertaker invented the coffin matches, and now the coffin matches are being carried on by a guy that's pretty soon going to need an Undertaker.
Haven't they been building up it being a body bag match? If you think of the angles they've been doing on TV.
Well, but how can you fucking take a bump off the top rope to the floor into a body bag? Right? You can take some cool bumps into a coffin, but you pretty much just goddamn dive into a fucking hefty bag.
That's true.
Wouldn't end well for anybody. Wouldn't make good television. The fuck? Of course, these fucking nitwits. Jesus Christ. So I know they like the weird little thing. I guess I should be more specific. The weird, smaller, littlest thing. Darby, they like that weird little thing. And he does the coffin drop. And they've been body bagging each other. So now the next thing is they can take some wonderfully fun bumps into a coffin. And I just have to think that if Darby doesn't win this, that there might be some goddamn retribution on Moxley from some of the fans. Just, no, go away. We can't take it anymore. He's got to put this kid over in the coffin match, doesn't he?
I mean, who knows? We have nonstop interference, Four Horsemen style in every Moxley match. So you really can't predict that.
But just, they brought him, did you see he spent $160,000, Darby Allin did, to climb that fucking mountain? Jesus H. Christ.
Did Tony pay for any of it? Because it was promoting AEW, technically.
Well, no, Tony paid for all of it. In fact, he had him on contract, sending him a goddamn check. But Darby could have collected the same goddamn check sitting at home eating fucking Fritos. And instead, he went and climbed a goddamn mountain for $160,000. But the point is, how about this? Couldn't he have gone to his local skate park and climbed the biggest fucking thing and then donated $159,995 to feed hungry children or something? For fuck's sake. But nevertheless.
What is that? Is that airfare plus
mountain fare?
Sherpa
fare?
I don't know. Like, what else? What are the expenses?
Hey, have you fed a llama lately? You know what the fuck? I'm telling you, they'll eat you out of house and home.
After a few days, that llama becomes your food.
And only if properly cooked. But anyway.
Do you think they're just going to destroy each other? It'll be a really brutal match, and then after 20 minutes of that, they'll get in the ring and start trading blows back and forth like every Moxley match?
Well, of course, but I don't say destroy each other. Moxley will beat the shit out of him, and he'll let him, and then Moxley will just in some way incite his own blood, but he'll do it in the usual style of shitty work, and some way or another, some other baby faces will help foil his heels, and there'll be a big schmoz, and Moxley will end up in a coffin. That's what I'm saying.
Well, Jim, the next match here I guess they're still doing this, it hasn't ended yet. Thumbtacks and Tables match for MJF versus Mark Briscoe.
Oh, boy. What, Jesus Christ, thumbtacks. MJF is not going to lose, and And Mark never wins the big one. The Gipper would have been ashamed of him. I can't. Maybe is MJF going to take time off to go impregnate his new wife or something? If that's the case, and Mark might be going over. But if MJF is going to, why is MJF
time off from what? Time off from 1 day a week? I mean, he's filming a movie right now too, isn't he?
Well, okay. Well, then there you go. He's going to a movie set. Mark might win. He might knock him into the thables and the thumbtacks. MJF has been so diminished, and it's just now it's the repetitive mad promos, and he has no direction and no opponents. And they try to do this with Mark, but it was unfortunately quite late and muddled in the middle. And and thumbtacks. So whatever the fuck. I would think MJF would be winning, but you never know.
Jim, in a 4-way for the AEW Women's World Championship.
Why wouldn't it be?
Timeless Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander versus Tekla.
Remind me who's got it now.
Timeless Toni Storm.
She's got which women's title is this?
The AEW,
several of the women have belts.
The AEW Women's World Championship.
What's Mercedes got?
The TBS Championship.
Well, she's got 9 of them, though.
She also has 8 other belts that we don't know.
Yeah. Well, you see, I mean, out of those names, I would think that they would take care of Toni Storm, because she's like the closest thing they have to a star on the women's roster. Even if she is preposterous, they love her. They love her little, bless her little heart. Unless they're going to try to get old Thekla over in some fashion. But I'm hoping that Toni Storm would retain out of that clustered crew.
For the AEW World Championship, Don Callis family banned from ringside, Hangman Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher.
I will save my comments on Kyle Fletcher's appearance on the TV show the other night for when we talk about the TV show the other night. But I understand they were originally going to have Page defend against Wardlow until Wardlow hurt himself his first night back by clotheslining the manager. Apparently that's when it happened. And that would have been a real blockbuster of an event. But they're going to do move after move after move, and they're going to go 30 or 35 minutes to prove that Kyle is ready to be a main event player, and Page ain't ready to be a main event player. So how is he going to make Kyle ready to be a main event player? They're going to do more things than you've ever seen anybody do to each other. And then Page is going to win, but somehow they think that is putting Kyle in this position long before he's ready, and he looks like he's a 12-year-old fucking bookworm, will get him over if they do a lot of moves. So, yeah, Page is going to beat him eventually.
And there's one more official match.
Jeez, how many is this now?
Well, this is official matches. There's 8 of these. For the AEW Unified Championship, the champion, Kazuchika Okada.
Oh, Lord.
Versus Konosuke Takeshita. Versus either Mascara Dorada or the Beast Mortos.
Oh, God. Well, old Takeshita will not do anything to Okada that Okada doesn't want him to do because of his respect for his elder, which means that Takeshita will do almost nothing to Okada. And they got the other guy there, whichever one of it is, to drop the fall. And I don't know why that they would put poor take in that position of having to be the guy in the middle of the laziest, boringest, carefulest, lack of working hardest, laziest, as I mentioned, wrestler in the business, but Okada will still win because it's like they dug up Mickey Mantle's fucking corpse and put him back on the goddamn Yankees. Is he still going to be allowed to hit home runs?
Well, according to Dave Meltzer here, this will be the first ever meeting between Okada and Takeshita, along with, of course, either Dorada or Mortos.
I bet you Kiefer Sutherland never met goddamn John Wilkes Booth either, even though they were both actors.
Well, there's some more.
See, yeah, you can't argue with that,
it's
can
such
you?
I don't know how you pulled that one out of your tuchus. But let's go now, Jim.
Took us.
To the Observer.
Where are you going to take us?
Well, Dave Meltzer says, from television, it appears they will add Bandito and Brody King, the team of Brodito, versus the Young Bucks for the tag titles.
Okay, that will be longer than it's not even necessary, and it will be longer than necessary because of the Hardy Boys being involved in it, and they got to do all of their trampoline stuff. But again, the Broditos are their tag team champions, and they're not going to drop them to these two at this point because Tony's in love with the team name.
Well, we'll see what the result is. Here's another match. Not sure I want to watch this one. Samoa Joe and Katsuri Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Daniel Garcia, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta for the trios titles.
Now, this is just maybe a possibility.
That's what Dave Meltzer thinks they're teasing on TV.
Is there still time for a write-in campaign? Just please don't do that. Please.
And this may be the most interesting one here. Dave Meltzer wrote that he thinks that, Dave Meltzer wrote, perhaps Big Bill versus Eddie Kingston in Kingston's return. It's happening soon, but not confirmed for this show. So it could happen, but also, if not now, soon.
But also, since Eddie Kingston hasn't been anywhere around, has he made appearances on the program we don't watch along with everybody else that doesn't watch it on Saturday nights?
I don't think so.
And done something with Big Bill. Why would you book him to come back against Big Bill? Is he going to reenact the Hogan Andre body slam and pin the 7-foot giant? Why is Big Bill Eddie Kingston's sacrificial lamb when he comes back? That seems odd. One would think that Eddie Kingston could do more things to a guy he could pick up and move around a little bit. Just, all right.
And we haven't seen Big Bill in a while either.
Well, I'm not saying that he's, shouldn't be beaten or, is in dire need of a push or whatever, but it just out of nowhere, why would you match him with Kingston on Kingston's return he's the guy to make Kingston look good. When he's a foot taller, he's got a great body, and Kingston's a foot shorter, he looks like shit. The fuck? Well,
of course, we'll see what becomes official. They always have a 0-hour pre-show filled with other multi-person matches. AEW All Out Toronto, the day of WrestlePalooza. Say something. Help me.
Yes, well, put a period on it.
Period.
Period. All right. Well, then I'll tell you what, after watching the AEW in the afternoon for about 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 hours, and then the WWE at night for a palatable 3 hours, don't you think we're going to need a good night's sleep, Brian?
Yes.
Yes. How you say something? Well, I'll tell you how you can get one. You can rest in peace. Rest in peace on a Helix Sleep mattress. Because, Brian, is that not what you always want to do? You always want to rest in peace. You don't want to go to sleep and toss and turn and wake up screaming and shit the bed. You want to rest in peace, in quiet, in comfort, in luxury.
I wouldn't phrase it that way necessarily, but everyone deserves a good night's sleep. And if you have the wrong mattress, you're going to have the wrong night's sleep. You need the right night's sleep. And of course, Helix Sleep, a mattress for everyone. You find the mattress that's right for you. They send it to you. Magic process of opening it and whoosh, or just the unfurling, the magical unfurling of your mattress. You watch it come to life, and then you get to create new life on it, or whatever it is you do on it. Helix Sleep.
Do I have to bring you back to the ground now on this one? For heaven's sake, no. Here's what, and you are still resting in peace. That's what I say to Stacy every night. Rest in peace, dear. Because I know she's on a Helix Sleep mattress, and
Buford.
She's going to be floating. And she's got one of those watches, where it tells you the things that you're doing with your heart, and your lungs, and your liver, and your kidneys, and when you sleep and everything. One of those high-tech space age type of deals. And she got that. And of course, every night when she used to go to sleep, she'd wake up and it would just say 666. But now when she wakes up off the Helix mattress, it just says ZZZ.
Well, of course, Jim, that ZZ Top always liked a good night's sleep. All three members and the audience out there want to get the Z's when they go to sleep.
All three members of the audience out there?
All three members of ZZ Top and the millions and millions of sleepers. One thing I can tell you about everyone listening to the show, they all go to sleep every night. They all need a good mattress. Let's tell them about that, Jim.
Yeah, we did a survey one time, and it was over 94% of the listeners often go to sleep. Folks, right now, there's a big sale going on. Because what is today? Well, I'll tell you what it's time for you to save money. The Labor Day sale has been extended at helixsleep.com. You can get 25% off site-wide. That is an entire mattress for only the cost of 3/4 of a mattress. Or you do the math if you get more than one. From now until September 30th. And that's because the Labor Day sale has been extended. They've gone into extra labor. They might have, some of these mattresses will be delivered by cesarean. But nevertheless, right now, helixsleep.com/JCE. And make sure you use the code JCE and enter our show name after checkout so they know that we sent you. But you will get one of these fine, custom-made, beautiful, spacious mattresses. You can actually sometimes rent space in these mattresses. I know this one couple rented the bottom of their mattress to this college girl. And it was just when she had to stay up late studying, it was a problem. But otherwise, there was plenty of room for everybody.
Jim, you hear that? You know what that means? That's the official. It's about to happen. We have to let everyone know.
I knew that it was going to come in. I knew when it was. I was bringing it in like a ship from the sea. helixsleep.com/JCE, 25% off site-wide. The Labor Day sale is extended now. Sleep the sleep of the angels and rest in peace.
A normal night's sleep and a great night's sleep with Helix Sleep. We love them here in my house. They're big fans of them at Castle Cornette. Let us know what you think. helixsleep.com/JCE.
Woo!